Hello everyone, I'm Trinity, and this is Kawaii Builds, where I bring cute characters into D&D. Today we are building Aggretsuko, or Aggretsuko. She is a red panda who works a corporate job. She hates her boss who treats her like crap. Like he's so mean to her, it's absolutely ridiculous. In order to get her frustration out from work, she will go to a karaoke bar and scream death metal till she feels better. We're making someone that tries to hide in plain sight. I'll be using standard point array to make things easier, and we are multi-classing. We start with Charisma 15, because everyone loves her. It's kind of hard not to. Next we got Con 14, you need to be able to silently deal with people being mean. Then we have Strength 13, after that we got Intelligence at 12, then Dex is a 10, we don't need to try to run or climb, we're going to use words. And lastly, we got Wisdom at an 8. Since Aggretsuko is a red panda, there are no red pandas in D&D, which makes me super sad. I decided to go with Custom Lineage. Custom Lineage, you get +2 to 1 stat and then a free feat. I added my +2 to Con. The feat I picked was Actor. The Actor feat lets you increase your Charisma score by 1. You have an advantage on Deception and performance checks when trying to pass yourself off as a different person. You can mimic the speech of another person or the sound made by other creatures. You must have heard the person speaking or heard the creature make the sound for at least 1 minute. They can figure if this is fake by taking insight against your deception. Custom Lineage also grants you a free skill or dark vision. I chose dark vision for this build. For background skills, take performance and stealth. Level 1 Bard, you get 3 skills. I chose Preception, Investigation, and Deception. The features you get our spellcasting ability uses Charisma, so Charisma is your main focus. Bardic Inspiration allows you to inspire others through words or music. To do so, you use a bonus action on your turn to choose one creature other than yourself who is 60 feet from you who can hear you. That creature gains 1 Bardic Inspiration, a d6. Once within the next 10 minutes, the creature can roll the die and add the number roll to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw it makes. The creature can wait until after it rolls the d20 before deciding to use the Bardic Inspiration die, but must decide before the DM says whether they roll succeed or fails. Once the Bardic Inspiration die is rolled, it is lost. A creature can have only 1 Bardic Inspiration die at a time. You can use this feature a number of equal times to your Charisma modifier. You get it back after a long rest. Now it's on to spells. At level 1 Bard, you get 2 cantrips and no 4 spells. The 2 cantrips I chose were Thunderclap and Vicious Mockery. Thunderclap lets you create a burst of booming sound which can be heard 100 feet away. Each creature other than you within 5 feet of you must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 1d6 thunder damage. Vicious Mockery lets you unleash an insult at a creature that you can see within 60-foot range. If the target can hear you, force a Wisdom saving throw or take 1d4 psychic damage and have disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn. The 4 spells I picked are Disguise Self. You can make yourself, including your clothing, armor, weapon, and other belongings in your person, look different until the spell ends or until you use your action to dismiss it. This will not change your body type, so be careful. Dissonant Whispers lets you whisper something so terrible to a creature within 60 feet of you they are in terrible pain. They must make a Wisdom saving throw. If they fail, they take 3d6 psychic damage and must use its reaction. It must move as far away from you as it can. If the creature succeeds, they take half the damage. Silver Barbs. You can magically distract the creature within 60 feet of you and turn it momentarily uncertainty into encouragement. The creature must reroll a d20 and use the lower roll. You can choose a different creature you can see within range. The chosen creature has advantage on the next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw it makes within 1 minute. A creature can be empowered by only one use of this spell at a time. Thunderwave lets a loud force sweep out from you. Each creature in a 15-foot view originating from you must make a constitutional saving throw. If they fail, the creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from you. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't pushed. Be careful when using this. It will push stuff away. Barbarian level 1. The features you get are Rage as a bonus action. If you aren't wearing heavy armor, you gain the following benefits. You have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. When you make a melee weapon attack using strength, you gain bonus damage. You have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. If you're able to cast spells, you can't cast them or concentrate on them while raging. Your rage lasts for 1 minute and ends early if you are knocked unconscious, or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked a creature since your last turn or taken damage since then. You must take a long rest before you can rage. You got 2 rages at this level. Unarmored defense. While you are not wearing any armor, your armor class equals 10 plus your dexterity modifier plus your constitutional modifier. Level 2 Bard receives Jacks of all Trades and Songs of Rest. You get another spell, but I decided to take 2 spells next level. Jack of all Trades lets you add half of your proficiency bonus round down to any ability check you make that doesn't already include your proficiency bonus. Song of Rest. You play soothing music to help revitalize your wounded allies during a short rest. Creatures who can hear your performance regains hit points at the end of the short rest by spending 1 or more hit dice. Each of these creatures regains an extra 1d6 hit point. Level 2 Barbarian gains Reckless Attack and Danger Sense. Reckless Attack lets you attack with advantage on melee weapon attacks, rolls using Strength during this turn, but attack rolls against you have advantage until your next turn. Danger Sense lets you gain a sense of when things nearby don't make sense. You have an advantage on dexterity saving throws against effects that you can see. Level 3 Bards. Now you get Bardic, College, and Expertise. Expertise lets you choose 2 of your skill proficiencies. Your proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability check you make that uses either of the chosen proficiencies. I'd place this in Deception and Performance. Bard College is your subclass. I chose Whispers as I felt it would suit her well. The features you get are Psychic Blades and Words of Terror. Psychic Blades. When you join the College of Whispers at 3rd level, you gain the ability to make your weapon attack magically toxic to a creature's mind. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expand 1 use of your Bardic Inspiration to deal an additional 2d6 psychic damage to that target. You can only do so once per round on your turn. Words of Terror. You speak words that can inspire terror. If you speak to a person alone for at least 1 minute, you can attempt to put paranoia or fear into this mind. At the end of this conversation, the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell DC or be frightened of you or another creature of your choice. The target is frightened in this way for 1 hour until it is attacked or damaged, or until it witnesses its allies being attacked or damaged. If the target succeeds on the saving throw, the target has no hint that you tried or to frighten them. You can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. Level 3, you get 2nd level spells. 2nd level spell I chose were Con of Madness and Invisibility. Con of Madness. 1 humanoid of your choice that you can see within 120 feet must pass a wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you for the duration. While the target is charmed, a twisted crown of jagged iron appears on its head and the madness glows in their eyes. The charmed target must use its action before moving on each of its turns to make a melee attack against another creature other than itself that you choose. On your charmed person's turn, you must use your action to maintain control over the target or the spell ends. The target can also make a wisdom saving throw at the end of each of its turn. On a success, the spell ends. Invisibility. A creature you touch becomes invisible until the spell ends. Anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible, as long as it's on the target's person. The spell ends if the target attacks or casts the spell. Level 3 Barbarian receives their subclass. I chose Beast. When you enter your rage, you can transform, revealing the bestial powers within you until your rage ends. You manifest a natural melee weapon, which can be fangs, claws, or a tail. I'm going with claws. Your hands transform to claws, which deal 1d6 slashing damage on a hit. When you take the attack action on your turn and make an attack with your claws, you can make 1 additional attack using your claws as part of the same action. Rage is now up to 3. Level 4 Bard. You get ability score improvement and another cantrip. I added 2 to Charisma. I chose Message. You point your finger toward a creature within range and whisper a message. The target hears the message and can relay it in a whisper that only you can hear. For a new spell, I chose Shatter. A loud ringing noise erupts from a point of your choice within 60 feet. Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make a constitutional saving throw. A creature takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. A creature made of inorganic materials such as stone, crystal, or metal has disadvantage on the saving throw. Level 4 Barbarian. You now get an ability score improvement. I decided to take the feat Slasher. That makes my strength 14 now, by adding +1 to your score. Once per turn, when you hit a creature within an attack that deals slashing damage, you can reduce the speed of the target by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. When you score a critical hit, this deals slashing damage to a creature you grievously wound it. Until the start of your next turn, the target has disadvantage on all attack rolls. Level 5 Bard. Bardic Inspiration is now a D8, and you can now choose level 3 spells. The third level spell I chose was Fear. You project an image of a creature's worst fears. Each creature in a 30-foot cone must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or drop whatever it is holding and become frightened for the duration. While frightened by the spell, the creature must take the dash action and move away from you, unless there is nowhere to move. If the creature ends its turn in a location where it doesn't have the line of sight to you, the creature can make a wisdom saving throw. On a successful save, the spell ends for that creature. Level 5 Barbarian. Gain an extra attack. You can attack twice instead of once, whenever you would take the attack action on your turn. Fast movement. Your speed increases by 10 feet, while you aren't wearing heavy armor. Level 6 Bard. You now get Countercharm. You gain the ability to use musical notes or words of power to disrupt mind-influencing effects. As an action, you can start a performance that lasts until the end of your next turn. During that time, you and any friendly creature within 30 feet of you have advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. The creature must be able to hear you to gain this benefit. The performance ends early if you are incapacitated or silenced, or if you involuntarily end it. Bard College feature Mantle of Whispers. You gain the ability to adopt a person's persona. When a person dies within 30 feet of you, you can magically capture its shadow using your reaction. You retain the shadow until you use it or you finish a long rest. You can use the shadow as an action. You now look like the dead person. This disguise lasts for 1 hour until you end it as a bonus action. You gain access to all the information that the person would freely share with you as a casual acquaintance. The information is enough that you can pass yourself off as the person by drawing on its memories. Another creature can see through the disguise by succeeding on a wisdom check contested by your charisma check. You gain +5 bonus to your check. For our next spell, I chose Stinking Cloud. You create a 20-foot radius sphere of yellow, nauseating gas centered on a point within range. The cloud spreads around corners, and in its area is heavily obscured. The cloud lingers in the air for the duration. Each creature that is completely within the cloud at the start of its turn must make a Constitution saving throw against poison. On a failed save, the creature spends its action that turn retching and reeling. Creatures that don't need to breathe are immune to poison automatically. Succeed on this saving throw. Level 6 Barbarian. You get a path feature and rage is now 4. You gain Beastial Soul. The power within you increases, causing the natural weapons of your form of the beast to count as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage. You can also alter your form to help you adapt to your surroundings when you finish a short or long rest. You gain a swimming speed equal to your walking speed, and you can breathe underwater. You gain a climbing speed equal to your walking speed, and you can climb difficult surfaces, including upside down on a ceiling, without needing to make any ability checks. When you jump, you can make a strength check and extend your jump by the number of feet equal to the check's total. You can make this special check once per turn. Level 7 Bard. You can now choose a new spell, and you know 4th level spells. I chose Confusion. This spell assaults and twists creatures' minds, spawning delusions and provoking uncontrolled actions. Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within 90 feet must succeed on a wisdom saving throw when you cast the spell or be affected by it. An affected target can take reactions and must roll a d10 at the start of each of its turn to determine its behavior for that turn. Level 8 Bard. You gain an ability score improvement. I put 2 into Charisma, so it is now a 20. You now know 11 spells. Level 9 Bard. Song of Rest is now a d8. You can now choose 5th level spells, and you now know 12 total spells. Level 10 Bard. Your Bardic Inspiration is now a d10. You have Expertise. You can choose another 2 skill proficiencies to gain this benefit. You also know magical secrets. You have plundered magical knowledge from a wide spectrum of disciplines. Choose 2 spells from any class, including this one. A spell you choose must be of a level you can cast. Level 11 Bard. You now know choose 6 level spells. Level 12 Bard. You get an ability score improvement. I chose to add 2 to Con. That brings it up to 16. Level 13 Bard. Your Song of Rest is now a d10. You now know 16 spells and can take 7th level spells. Level 14 Bard. You gain another magical secret. You learn 2 additional spells from any class. Bard College feature. You now know 18 spells. You get Shadow Lore. You gain the ability to weave dark magic into your words and tap into a creature's deepest fears. As an action, you magically whisper a phrase that only one of the creatures of your choice within 30 feet of you can hear. The target must make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. It automatically succeeds if it doesn't share a language with you, or it can't hear you. On a successful saving throw, your whisper sounds untangible and mumbling, and it has no effect. If the target fails its saving throw, it is charmed by you for the next 8 hours or until you or your allies attack it or damage it. While you gain no knowledge of the secret, the target is convinced you know it. While charmed in this way, the creature obeys your commands for fear that you will reveal its secret. It won't risk its life or fight for you unless it was already inclined to do so. When the effect ends, the creature has no understanding of why it held you in such fear. You can't use it again until you finish a long rest. I like this build. I just wish there wasn't so much concentration needed. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching.